YouTube, TikTok. Today we got another trade recap. Okay, so we have some things to get into, and I have some motivation here on my phone on my notes. So let's pretty much get into my mindset into taking these trades. And obviously, I have pictures each and every single day for y'all to look at and to prove what I do on a daily basis. So basically, let me show y'all. We got downside liquidity here. This is the downside liquidity that I was targeting. We broke it here on NQ. I don't did we break it here on ES? We did not break it here on ES. So when I was trading this, we pretty much had a um, bearish SMT. So bearish SMT was one of the things. We have this gap, which is another thing here. And then on top side liquidity on what I was targeting, because I was going longs for today. So this was pretty much the target for today. And I have reasons why I did not be able to exit right there. And I'm going to get into that here in a minute. So let's get into my thoughts on taking these trades. So we have this gap right here, which is number one. We have London high and London low, which is number two. And then we have the key liquidity, which is number three. So those are the three things that I look at for when I'm taking these trades. Okay, so let's get into my pretty much the time. Okay, so market opens here. We got some good pullback here. Okay, we had some pretty much almost not really for value gap, but we had some liquidity almost coming taking out London lows here. So I was like, okay. So I was feeling good. That's emotions there. We shouldn't get into emotions because I mean that's pretty bad. But my knowledge right here was, maybe we could take out one of these key liquidity points because I like to take trades based on when we sweep London low or London high there because that's good liquidity being swept. That's the second largest market here. So, okay, so I enter here and I'm about to exit here on this candle because this candle was about to close and then we had a nice pullback on that candle um, and it closed bearish. I mean, yeah, it did close bullish actually. The reason why I wasn't able to, exit up here where I wanted to is because the internet at school low key went out and I wasn't able to take up there. So there are two trades. So one of the trades, I actually did make a little bit. I think it was like 2,000, and that was the second red one up here that I was able to actually exit. And the first one, no, the first one was the one where I panicked and I exit here, and the second one was actually here. Um, I think I actually exited up here. I think this thing is bugged because my actual exit. Let me circle it. My actual exit, as you can see, was actually like up here on that candle. So I think this thing is bugged right now. So one trade, the internet went out, and I was only to be able to make like 1.1k. And the second trade, I actually was able to held, but I had to leave to go to another class, and I didn't want to risk like anything. I know I could have set a stop loss, but I actually like to look at my trades. I know y'all guys should probably use stop losses. Um, but yeah, I had to close the trade early, like right there. So that was one of the things that I had to do. But I would have held. I would have held like up here. So there was a lot of upside liquidity. Longs are still good because I mean we got liquidity up here, liquidity up here. Let me actually show y'all. Okay, this is like 15-minute time frame, so this is actually really good. We got liquidity up here, liquidity up here. You know, there's a lot of upside liquidity actually to be able to take. And my thing for getting into these trades right here was a 5 minute candle in the direction that I wanted to take a trade on, and this was the candle right there where I actually almost panic sold because of the internet thing. But you know, I mean, things happen. You got to be grateful for what you've been given. We had a good trading sesh the last week, so I'm not really upset and I'm not really like mad or anything. But it's always good. See, okay, here was the one of the trades actually on ES, and I think the other one was on NQ because NQ was actually staying above these highs, so I thought I had more upside potential. But actually, NQ was really the one to trade since we broke liquidity here. Um, and this one we didn't. So, those are just like market knowledge that y'all are gonna adapt and get by watching this channel here because I actually think you know, I provide like good value. Now, let's get into the motivation here, and I think this is honestly the most important thing because if you click off at this point, you really have you need a really good mindset to be able to trade these markets, because I mean they will destroy you, literally. So let's get into one of the things, and I use this each and every single day, and I think everyone should implement this in their day-to-day life. I implement this like every day. The law of detachment. I'm pretty sure y'all have heard it here, but let me show you basically what it is. It is the core idea of letting go of the death grip, which is often stems from fear and doubt. And so basically, I'm gonna sum it up for what I got on here. So basically, let's say you got a friend group here, and some of them have a growth mindset and the other half doesn't. I'm pretty sure you're catching on where this is gonna go. You don't want to stay with that bad friend group. You're gonna need to detach from those those bad friends that are like not helping you and not pushing you forward and getting you to the next level. You want the friends that actually show you that there's levels to this shit here. So you need to side with them, because I mean they'll push you to the next level. They'll tell you what you're doing bad. They'll you'll adapt good habits. I think that's really what this law is about. You need to detach from those bad habits and get into those good habits. Waking up early, making the bed, taking your supplements. Just day-to-day things that actually make your life easier, and they'll actually progress and they'll move you forward. And that doesn't always apply to trading, but you know I feel like if you're in a good mindset, you're taking care of yourself. I feel like that'll help you in your trading journey. And I'm pretty sure that should go for all of us here. Like if we're not taking care of our health and our mental state, then I don't think it'll reflect in your trading. It really will, because back in the day when I wasn't taking care of myself, the trades weren't really going the way that I wanted to. Staying up late, but I have a reason to stay up late. I'm making these videos pretty late for y'all, so because I'm on the grind here. Like I'm in that grind phase. Like you feel me? I'm in the trenches here. Like I'm making these videos. I'm showing y'all what to do. I'm helping y'all, but you know, that's the law of detachment. Separate yourself from the bad habits. Start taking care of yourself. It'll reflect in your trading. Detach yourself from those bad friends, and just keep pushing forward day in and day out. Okay, now let's go on to the second thing. I know that was a yap chest there, but it is very important. You need to implement these things. Trust me, it'll work. Okay, the law of attraction. You're gonna attract the things that you want by showing yourself. The universe operates on energy and frequency, where your thoughts and your feelings act as a magnet, and involves these three top process: ask for your desires and your believe in that it already exists, and receive, remain open to opportunity. That really sums it up. I feel like it does operate on a frequency, and I feel like it does operate on energy. If you're protruding that you want, more wealth, you want to level up, just ask for it in your thoughts, and speak it. Not really speak it, but let your actions show for it. You need to protrude that energy and that frequency to be able to make it come towards you. So I know some people might not believe in that, but I think it does. Manifestation, that really does work, because I used to see myself here. I used to see myself here, really. And it's just kind of crazy on how the law of attraction, like I used to speak it into my mind that I'm gonna be a profitable trader. I'm gonna attract these things to me. So that that really, and I'm here now. Like it's crazy. Like I'm here at 11:33 making these videos, grinding for y'all, pushing out these trade videos, and I'm going to get a trade out for to y'all tomorrow and the next day and Friday. And then we're going to have a mental reset, and we're going to come back Monday bigger, stronger, and better, and on a higher frequency than we were on the last week. Week after week, 52 weeks, that's 52%. Every single year we're getting 1% better each and every single week here, or really each and every single day. You should really be getting 365% better year over year. And if you're doing more than that, great, keep continuing. So I feel like that's on the timing that I'm on now. I'm getting 365% better a year each and every single day. We might have those off days, Christmas, 4th of July, but sometimes we need to work through those. Don't trade on bank holidays, because that's just terrible and bad. I don't care who says you should trade on those bank holidays. I don't, and I know a lot of profitable traders that don't, and they make a lot of money. So that's the timing, frequency, law of attraction, law of detachment, law of attraction. That's where we're on.